This is Mei Lin. They showed a lot of stuff for Mei Lin specifically at the First Look in-person event in Korea. I was not at the event, but I do have some of the stuff that was shown there, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is her full body art. You can just see her full design. And then here is slightly zoomed in. Also a different pose, I think, because her arm is down. This is probably used at a different point, and I imagine people know where this is used already. I don't, though. And then here is her summon art. This appears when you actually manage to summon her. Got the nice whole background behind her and everything. And of course, this game has chibis, so we can go ahead and take a look at some of the chibi art. This isn't all of it. There's definitely a lot more than what is shown in the 2 pages that I showed so far, but this is just some of them. So she's got a lot of these ready poses. I think these are her ready poses after you use a buffing card and you're ready to attack. I think this one is when she's getting ready to use her ult. I don't know if it's actually called an ult. I'm just calling it an ult because it's the one where the 2D art shows up for the attack. And that's the only one I really recognize. But yeah, she's got a lot of different little poses here. Here is the second page. This is right before she does her kick, and the 2D art shows up for the attack. Here is some other poses. There's like a bunch more ready stances here. And then here are some kind of unique ones. I have no idea what's going on in the first one. The second one, she is not having a great time. And then these look like her death animations. So that's something to look forward to. And then I don't know why these two got their own page, but these are another 2 of the sprites, I guess. So there's a lot of little chibi sprites to look at, but there's definitely a lot more than this. We'll take a look at them in motion in a little bit. But first, let's check out some of the mental breakdown related stuff. So in here, something related to the characters' mental breakdowns and their therapy sessions. I ran this through a translator, and it's probably not super accurate, but this says psychological counseling, and this says memory erasure. I have no idea what that means. I was told that this might be something like the different path a therapy session can go. To me, neither one of these seemed like it went very well, but these seem like they're kind of so I think this one and this one are the same type of breakdown, and then this one and this one are the same type, and then this is things splitting it, because we've seen these 2 expressions before. This is one of her mental breakdowns, and then this is the other one. So here you can see the swirly eyes. And then here, if you look close enough, she's kind of drooling a little bit. And you can kind of see that here. Here she's drooling a little bit, and then here she's got little swirly eyes and a lot of sweat. Which I guess she's sweating a decent amount of both of them, but whatever. I'm pretty sure these are the mental breakdowns. So this was kind of interesting to see. I didn't know that there were 2 separate versions of them. And now let's go ahead and take a look at some of her cards. Here are Mei Lin's cards. We can see 8 cards being shown here. I don't know if she has any more, but the 5 that get upgraded with the Prism module are going to be this one, and then these 4 down here that I've seen so far. I don't have footage of all of these 5 cards. I only have it for 3 of them. Here is the first one. And then here is the second one. So here you can see the third one. It's animated while we're hovering it, and then the other cards aren't animated until you select them. Now let's take a look at a couple of clips. First up is just the full combo, using all of Mei Lin's cards except for this one here. Poor little guy got left out, but you'll get to see the rest of them in action. One of my favorite parts of that clip is how if you chain the cards together fast enough, Mei Lin just kind of stays up front and keeps on attacking. I wonder how long you have between attacks before she moves back, but that's something to find out once the game actually comes out, I guess. And now for this clip, we're going to be taking a look at her ego skill. At the bottom left here, you'll see EP, which stands for ego points. And this, you'll build up as the fight goes on, and you can consume a lot of them to use the character's ego skills. This also comes with a new card that we haven't seen yet. So let's go and take a look. So one new card and also an extra 2D animation besides the one that we've seen from their old card. Pretty nice, though also we'll probably see this less often during the run, depending on how fast EP is gained, I guess. And then finally, let's take a look at this 1 minute conversation between, well, can't really call it a conversation, it's just Meilin talking at you. But it's a little 1 minute thing, and I was told that this is the illustration that gets unlocked at Bond level 10. I would assume that the conversation gets unlocked together with the art. It's a lobby illustration, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. I had a friend translate this for me, so he did his best in trying to translate it to English.
私は明日の試験に勝利するために奮闘していたところでございます。ここに来てまだまだ学ぶことが多いと痛感しております。地球の地下で過ごしていた頃は全く知らなかったものばかりで大変ですが乗り越えるべきでございますね。私の点数でございますか？見てはなりません。これはまだ修行が足りないゆえに。館長殿が直接ご指導を？まことでございますか？なんてお優しい。こんな簡単な問題にもつまずいてしまう私を気にかけてくださるなんて。ならば私も館長殿のご好意に応えてみせないと。それこそ修行者たるものの道理。より一層励み、明日の試験では必ずや勝利をこの手に収めてまいります。
And that's it for everything we have on Meilin so far. Like I said, there's probably a little bit more from anybody who was actually at the playtest in Korea, because they got the chance to actually work around with her in the game a little bit. So we'll definitely see more for her in the once the beta playtest rolls out. Honestly, a lot more attached to this character than I was before I started. I don't think she's really on my rolling list still, but we'll see. Maybe we'll happen to roll her. But hopefully, with the playtests rolling out in a couple of weeks, we'll get to see a lot more stuff on a lot more characters.